birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
At 18,000 revolutions per minute, this isn't music. This is the scream of
So
science.
just be quiet. Oh, I forgot I knew about a new intro. Oh, mate.
This is the inner world of pneumatic valve springs, of mean effective pressure, 300 brake horsepower per litre of displacement.
This is
The
an intro.
quest for the perfect four-stroke V8 naturally aspirated reciprocating engine. And in the middle of the hot metal, The carbon, the alloy technology.
Although I don't
sits
think
flesh and
this
blood.
matches for the trucks. I'm not sure if it matches for the
Rising
rest
out of its carbon fiber monocoque that cools.
Well, I don't even know how many horsepower these cars are, how many
These are the
cylinders there
eyes
are.
that can pick
The
up a
video I
face in
have
a
is kind of
crowd.
universal.
As if motion were being slowed down. Not passing in a blur at 200 miles per hour. This is the pure mathematics of angles and aerodynamics, the physics of g-forces and friction, and the raw instinct to race. These are the masters of speed.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Welcome everybody for some Goat Locker ARCA racing here on your Wednesday night, presented by INvets here at the Rockingham Speedway in North Carolina. I am Dean Biggles. Steve Bartlett will be with me here this evening presenting this fantastic racing event that we're going to be having here this evening. And I believe at the moment, Stephen, we're already getting into our qualifying. Qualifying's actually done and dusted, my friend. It is time to go over there and show that grid this evening and who's going to be the tough one to beat on the pole position. It is Jeremy. Welcome everybody to chat. We'll get through there in a second there. Scott Formosa will line up next to him. Andy Kurtz, Craig Bollinger, Mike George, Jake Ellenson, Chance Taylor, David Calvert, James Kaufman, George Jewell, Travis Bieber, and Johnny Caulfield, who was in the chat. I saw there for a second there. We'll go through the rest of that field there for us there, please, my friend.
13th. 14th, we have Sam Milliken in the 77. 15th is Alan Marshall in the 82. Rustin Rafferty on his outside in the 41. We have the 17, Mike Knights in car 64. Next to him on the outside is John Anthony in the 00. And then in row 10, we have Timothy Jones in the 95, Adam Wilson in the 1. Row 11, Mark Hollifield Sr. in the 76. Devin Smith in the 23, row 12, Jeremiah Holt in the 73, and Doug Ellingson in the 58.
And that'll be our field. I think Keith Hanley has not started or even set a time. I'm not quite sure he's actually been lining up on the grid at the moment. Because we're still waiting actually for Jake to line up onto the grid and Keith, as those drivers will be preparing to get there ready for their formation lap. You can see all those fantastic, lovely vehicles at the moment, my friend. Now, I just had to download this track, and once again, hello to everybody. All the usual suspects out there. Lauren, welcome. Of course, Ray, Chazda, Brandon Walls, of course, is racing. The Magic Whisperer, Nathan Fox. Jonathan Caulfield is also racing as well. So, a lot of family members out there supporting their drivers. But this track, going back to that one, as I said, I just purchased it. I've never actually even had it, so I've never broadcasted it. Do you know much about this this track, sir?
It's relatively new as far as coming back into iRacing. It's a short track. Give a quick shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat. We'll be monitoring you tonight.
Yeah, you're cutting a little bit in and out, my friend. I'm not sure if it's our connection between yourself and me, but just sometimes your voice will drop out. So I'll let you know. We're supposed to have another commentator as well, too. I'm not quite sure where he is at the moment, so I do apologise about that one. So we'll fill in, because it's your first time commentating for the Goat Locker Summer Series. And I'm usually pushing all the buttons in the background as well, too. But of course, we're going to help you out in the booth. So it's a lot of work. The pace car lights are off in the backstretch, thanks to our fantastic sponsors, which we'll go over. We've also got a schedule, which we'll go over in a minute too, but go one step at a time, my friend. I learned to crawl before you walk. We have a lot of information to go through. But first of all, we have to capture that racing. Make sure that we don't miss these drivers getting off the first lap.
That should be a pretty good start. A lot of bumps. It's pretty trying to keep these cars on the track at times here at Rockingham. And we're waiting on Barney to give the green flag. And here we go. We're off. And the Jeremy Gardner jumps out to the lead on the inside. Scott Formosa on his outside. And in third, we have Andy Kurtz.
I thought they were almost going to go 3 wide for the very start of that one, didn't they, at that point? But luckily they backed up on that one. Jerome's got a huge lead. He said he is the one. He is the one, the biggest target painted on his back per se this evening, as we've heard out there in the chat. And putting it on pole obviously shows he's got the pace. But further back in the field there, this is where the battle's starting to brew between Andy Kurtz. Made up one position. It's got Scott Formosa there. The rest of the field so far so good, my friend.
Oh, and there's the first wreck.
Oh, who's on the lead?
Is that the, I can't tell who that was.
Chance Taylor might have been on his lead. Whoop.
14.
Number 14, yep.
And look 14 got spun around there.
Banking elevation. Oh, that got to flip him over. He's trying to flip him over, but he's had to tow back to pit road. I think that was David, actually, that was on the
And that would have been the, the number 3 car, David Colbert, it seems to be.
Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, it's the 14, and that's Chance Taylor. That's gone into the number 3.
And David Colbert in the 3.
And that's the number 3. That's David. Yep, it's gone upside down. Woohoo. Let's go back it up, look at the replay of that one.
I believe that would be a racing incident. The way they'll rule that is like the 2 cars came together fighting for the same spot, and only one can take it, and this is what happens.
Yeah, let's go back and have a look at David's crash, unfortunately.
And 14 came up at the same time David Calvert was coming down, and then Chance got hooked and spun over into the wall right in front of David Calvert, and David Calvert on his roof.
Alan Marshall's gone in, wasn't a part of that one. Who else went to pit road? We had Timothy Jones that's gone in down into pit road, and Jake. Jake started from pit road, it seems. So let us know out there, please. Any of family. I did see Dougie's racing at the moment, so good to see Dougie back in the cockpit, actually. So it led to me elected that, in that case, Jake is elected to start from pit road. So Jeremy still has to do this all over again. And whilst we have a little bit of time, we can go over the schedule so far, my friend. Currently, we have rest of the summer series, as you can currently see at the moment, my friend. We are here in the Rockingham Speedway, and then Pocono, that's a big, the Tricky Triangle's a favorite for a lot of drivers. And then Phoenix to wrap it up at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's always good to look forward to Pocono. That's a fun track to race on. Got 2 real long stretches there, and after turns 1 and then that little short stretch after turn 2. And then coming off of turn 3, you're back on that long front stretch. Get a lot of good drafting there.
And one thing we do have to mention, of course, is this driver. And this is our Big Fish Pole Award sitter of Jeremy Gardner, who got that one for the Big Fish Barbecue. So very good at Tim. And of course, another one of our famous sponsors, one of the sponsors of this one, of course, is INvets, which Goat Locker's proud to partner with, to provide more resources and assistance to our nation's warriors, committed to helping our military transition out of service. They're connected to a lot of employers and offer employer services. And so much more to the military members, spouses, and veterans. So go check them out there. You can scan the barcode and find out why you should come and live and work in Indiana. So thank you, a big proud sponsor of Goat Locker Racing.
Yeah. Lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to go green again. Not sure what turn they're in at the moment.
It appears, my friend, they're going down the backstretch. There's the track map up to the top right-hand corner. I have to use that track map as well, my friend, when I'm not used to some of these tracks that I don't even own as well. And just reading through the chat there. It is Dougie. Yep, driving. Great. Thank you out there, Ray.
Yeah, Jeremy got a great jump on that first, on that start of the race there. I'm looking for him to do that again.
And I wanted to ask you that
Yeah,
as well
nearly-
too. So about to get cranking. The more of those restarts you just do over and over again during cautions, you must get better at it each time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a little bit. And here we go. We got the green flag, and Jeremy's got a big lead again out in front there. And right behind him is, I want to say, Scott Formosa. And Andy Kurtz is now behind him in second. They're going single file in the first 4 or 5 cars there. Everybody else behind them is still double file.
Oh, you can see the bumps, can't you, as we're running on blue currently with Andy Kurtz. Absolutely correct. Now, Andy Kurtz is not let Jeremy get away with this one too far because you saw Jeremy gets a little bit of a gap on the road there. Andy's on top of the one. That's another thing I was going to say too as well. So you get, the race starts, the more you get those race starts done. Also, what Andy can do as well too is try to find out if he can gain that fraction of a second and try to get a little bit of a jump on Jeremy. But Jeremy, of course, is a wise driver, and he's going to try to take care of that. Johnny Caulfield's gone into pit road. Oh no, he's come off to the apron, I think, and come back in. I just noticed something on the telemetry about that going. That's a kind of a strange pit stop to be going in and to see him damage. Big power slide out of the corner there, and he saves it. That'll should bring Scott Formosa back into play here for the top 3.
Yeah, we're still looking at the top 3 here. Andy Kurtz, 24 car. Seems to be he's hanging about a 10th back or so. Keeping pretty steady there.
Yeah, of course.
And now we have a battle for second. And caution is out.
Mark Hollerfield. That looks like it might be dinged up against the fence, isn't it? It could be a solo accident, I'd have to say here for Mark. We'll go back and have a look at the replay now. And so there is Mark. I don't know who's in the inside apron there, the 27. No, look at that one. He's gone slid straight into the fence, isn't
Jake
it?
Ellison, yeah.
Let's have a look on board, my friend.
Been Adam Wilson, and this is expected coming out of turn 4 at Rockingham. It gets pretty bumpy in there, and if you're not careful, you will lose that rear end and get up into the wall.
Now, just clarifying the race details for everybody this evening, my friend. You, as you spoke to some of the drivers there, they do have a fast repair. Oh wow! What's happening back here? We've got some beef. There's some beef going on between these drivers. This is under the formation lap. And that's, huge fake from Jeremy to head into pit road there. Kind of caught a few of the drivers off guard there. But what was with that beef here? Is that Mike George? I don't know. Explain this one. I don't know if it was Mike George that's coming up on that one, but did you see that? Yeah, Mike George has come in here and... Oh, you may be able to explain that one, my friend. I don't know if he's got the wave around or something like that. And then all of a sudden... realizes he has to pull back into that correct place, and it looks like he's locked up the brakes, right?
Yeah, I think what he was trying to do, he was trying to catch up to the main group there, and ended up having to lock him up and just lost control of the car there for a second. I don't think there's a beef there.
No, there's not, because he went
Yeah,
to
that's
avoid it
the-
deliberately. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I just...
Yeah, just a case of not,
yeah.
just a case of not paying attention. I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah, you're fine. I was getting a Jacob that will be commentating tomorrow night. It's just like you catch something in the last minute and you're thinking there's 2 drivers running into each other for some beef, but it's not. Exactly. It's just... So the bumps, and it's slippery out there as well, isn't it? Seems like it's... we haven't really had that many laps under our belt yet, have we, for the drivers to get that temperature tire up and stuff like that. That's what it's fine, isn't it? For a racing driver, cold tires... take a few laps to get some temperature in, and then you start feeling a bit more comfortable with the car.
That's correct. And it does take, like you said, a couple of laps to do that. And then the car will kind of lock into the track a little bit. But like I said, this is a bumpy track. You've seen it yourself. It's real hard to hang on to these cars, especially coming out of 4.
You see Jeremy weaving actually to get some temperature in the tires. We don't see a lot of drivers do that, but if it makes you feel good, and it may help or not. I remember during Formula 1, like Kimi Raikkonen, all the drivers would be weaving their tires like crazy in Formula 1, under pace cars and stuff like that. Kimi Raikkonen, the Finnish driver, he wouldn't even bother moving. He'd just stay stationary. It just depends, I guess. But as somebody says in the chat, there's Craig at the moment, the number 49 machine. They're saying he is looking slick. Hey, Craig, give us a wave. How about the track temperature, my friend? 94
Yeah.
degrees. Nothing like we had on. When did we? Oh no, actually, that was a European race I did. Was it, or was it on that we had earlier this week? 113. No, you were there, wasn't it? Yeah, 113 degrees.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
yeah we had 114 degrees at Daytona
14
on Monday
degrees at
night.
Daytona. That was the highest that we'd ever seen it. Yeah.
That makes for a very slick track.
Pace car lights are off again. So we've got 87 laps to go, 14 down. We've got the field, 13 or so of those fields have not gone into pit road. A few more after that, John Caulfield and Matt Knight, so they're up for the 15th and 16th. So going to be a question too. Once they get those laps under their belt, how long can they go on those tyres and its conditions as well? That's what we have to find out, my friend.
Yeah, we have no stages tonight, and the field window's 75 laps. And here I'm around turn 4. Pace car should be jumping off. Got Jeremy Gardner on the inside, Andy Kurtz on his outside, then Scott Formosa and Mike George. And green flag.
Second chance around, and nobody got the jump there on Jeremy, but maybe Scott got the jump on Andy this time. On the inside, that's the 80, and the 20, and the outside is... Oh, and we've got a wreck already at the back there. That's Rusty, I think. Rusty Rapidly facing the wrong direction for 41 Caterpillar machine. So we haven't even got across the line there, and we're having a few little spinneroos, my friend. Let's have a look what happened to Rusty. Oh, he's just clipped the fence, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he got sucked up into the wall there
Oh,
for some reason.
and just tapped on the other cars, but I think they didn't go around, so they might be okay to live another
Yeah,
day.
they should be okay.
So Jeremy once again is going, come on guys, let's go racing. I have to say, let's go racing. We want to shout out there for the 77 machine. There's Sam Milliken. Is that how to pronounce it there? Please tell me if I'm getting it correct or not. I am the Biggles Butcher of drivers.
Yeah,
names
Milliken.
sometimes. Yes, thank you. Well, whilst we have a quick breather, make sure you get one of our sponsors, of course, on the NASRA network, which is some setups if you require to make yourself go a little bit quicker. We'll be back. So we're back. Pace car lights are still on. Give us your predictions out there for the win. I know a lot of people were kind of putting all their money, virtual money, of course, on Jeremy to take this one. But aside from that, my friend, any other picks you might have an eye on specifically?
I think it's going to be a pretty good race between Andy Kurtz and Jeremy Gardner. Jeremy's got some real good jumps from the start there. But Andy's also put some pressure on him a little bit too. So, well, it'll be one of them two, I believe.
Andy's, yeah, Scott Formosa as well too. See, now that they're starting to get a few of these dress rehearsals of race starts under their belt. And so I think they might be a little bit more confident or not. How do you feel, as we're still going to do another lap on the pace car, that your reaction time of when you get that little indicator, don't you, in your ear there, your race control, your engineer or whatever, that goes like, yeah, green, 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 right? As soon as you hear that, you hit the loud pedal. Have you ever contemplate like knowing exactly where that spot is, and do you start hitting that loud pedal before? You even hear your spotter telling you when it's going green?
Well, there's the the Geico restart zone. At that point, in this case, whoever's on the lead, Jeremy, it's up to him when he actually goes. He can go as soon as he hits it, or he can wait till the green flag comes out. It's all up to him.
Ah, so you can't just be, once again, if you're in P2 and so forth behind, you just can't literally gas it until that driver in the lead has. Okay. I'm not a racing driver.
Right.
It's not for this series anyway, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, you just gotta keep your eye on him and hope you can see him when he jumps and get a quick reaction and go yourself.
Well, what we hope we can
Like some rotation.
see is some green flag racing, so we, at least for a few laps, get those temperature up in the tyres there and start to see everybody sorting themselves out. Barney's arm's going to get tired all night long, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if we don't go green flag racing. So let's go.
See, that time he waited till the green flag started waving. Till he was just right under Barney there. Got out to a big jump again. And Andy Kurtz on his tail. And Scott Formosa and Mike George right behind him, battling for third.
As you can, oh, and then another caution. This could be a big wreck, actually, at the back here. Oh, Johnny Colford's got to go in. His complete front end is done and dusted. Jeremy Holt, I think, was involved in this one. Somebody's just spun, I think, coming into the 00 of John Anthony's come in as well. So it looks like he's heading into pit road and just lost control here. Let's have a look, my friend. Who's slow on the
Somebody got in
apron?
the wall. That was the 17 car of... I gotta find him here.
Yeah, I can't see the 17 on the grid, actually. So perhaps the graphics aren't matching up to the car. It's a 77, I think, is it? I'm confused.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it looks like he got up into the wall, and then when he tried to get off, that wall will suck you right in. And when you're trying to get off of it, you really got to turn that wheel sometimes to get away from it. And then that's when he went down and hit that other car there.
It's not 77.
Oh, no, we had one that started behind them.
Let's have a look at John Anthony. Yeah, it all started up the road from them.
Yeah, John Anthony got loose. He was trying to avoid the accident. And ran into the 64 there, who also lost it.
It's the 97. Johnny Caulfield. That's where it is. Sorry, it took us a bit to breathe. Graphics, so I'll go back and have a look at that. So here's Johnny. We'll back it up a little bit.
Yeah, as you see, he got coming out of the turn there, he got sucked up into the wall, which is pretty easy to do coming out of 2 there. And when he jerked the wheel to get off the wall, that's when he ran into that other car there, and everybody behind him went with him.
Do you think it's better just to completely stay stuck with the fence there until the other cars have gone through and then just kind of come back in the inside apron, or not? Or to try to... but it seems like that wall is just punishing this driver this evening, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you do want to try to get off the wall to limit the damage on your own car, but you also have to be careful about it so you don't do what Caulfield just did and take somebody else out with him trying to get off the wall.
Yeah, I'm not 100% too familiar about that as a racing driver, but it's good to have your expertise, my friend, as they're going to be making their way around for another lap. Check out, of course, the Cruising Classics and see if you can recognize some of these fantastic vehicles that are available at cruisingclassics.com. No.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more.
We're back, green flag racing. That was quick. Sorry, apologies about that. I had to cut the Starbase Comics off. Look at that ad back in the day. Of course, one of the sponsors of the fantastic NASRA network, and the drivers just want to get eager and going at the moment. Of course, like Jeremy, looks like got another good bat out of the gate launch, shall we say there.
And Andy Kurtz is making that outside line work for him. He's going to fight Jeremy for the lead right here. Side by side going into, I think that's 2. And that high line that's really working for Andy right now. He's took the lead from him. And now Scott Formosa says, give me some of that. I want some of that.
Yeah, that's to be very, very careful about dancing with that fence, because we've seen what that's happened before. Sam Milligan, whoa! And Travis into the pit lane entrance there at the moment. I don't know if there's some of these drivers doing some tricky little dive bombs. I did see during the practice session a few drivers actually crash it in the pit lane entrance as well. So that's something to keep your eye on as well. It looks like a very tricky pit lane entrance. But yeah, that was a brilliant move for Andy to go on the outside, isn't it? Especially, as I said, that fence seems to be very, very dangerous with it. He floated with it, and so far he survived. And Jeremy seems like he's on the hunt. Jeremy's happy to stick in that inside apron.
Yeah, Andy's making that outside work for him. I think probably what happened on that when they went into the pit lane like that, somebody got loose, and whoever was behind him tried to avoid him, and that one car ended up in the pits. It does happen, depending on how early you get loose in that turn.
Sam Milligan's back in pit road. I'm not sure that's from something. He's got to get in your pit stop box, my friend. He didn't even pull. He's stopped before his pit stop box. He's used his fast repair as well too, to get back out. Andy Kurtz leading from Jeremy Gardner and Scott Formosa. Further back at the moment, here's Craig. Here comes the Craig. Here comes the 49 machine, and he's going to be thinking, Scotty, you had a little bit of a shot before to get something done about this, and if you don't, I'll give it a shot. And they are doing that side by side, exchanging Christmas cards early here, halfway through the year in the Summer Series.
I don't think that battle's done yet. Formosa's staying right on his tail. Looks like he's trying to take that third place back from Formosa.
And this is what we like, actually. Some good green flag running finally for a little bit for everybody to get up at the speed, up at the pace, get a feel for the track, the bumps, and all that sort of jazz as you're aware of. Further back in the field, we do have a huge battle brewing. That was a car literally sliding off another one. Was that the 73? Jemima L? I can't. Wow. How did that car even still side plant into the other one? I don't even see anything from race control on that one, my friend. It was a purple machine we saw at the last minute, wasn't it? Do you remember Jemima Hull?
Yeah, he got lucky there somehow. Well, now the caution's out.
Yeah, I think it might have been Devin Smith. Come and think of it. It's definitely a purple machine. Perhaps somebody could tell us in the chat. Oh, be careful turning around, my friend, when this car's coming around. And just like that, we almost had some good green flag racing. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's got some front end damage under that carriage there. That's why he's having such a hard time straightening out.
This is Sam. Oh. Now, Sam was at full speed. I didn't see anything wrong with that. Did you? And then he's plowed into... That's a very slow car. Yeah, you should be going...
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, at this point you start lifting a little bit. And then... Wow.
But looks like that white car, I didn't catch the number on it. Looks like he just kind of hit the brakes all of a sudden as fast as the 77 car came up on him.
Yeah, you shouldn't be braking that heavy into a corner like that anyway. You'd just be lifting off, wouldn't you? And if you do see a car rapidly approaching you at high speed, you don't really have to get off your racing line. Well, everybody is taking an opportunity of this one finally to get in there pit road, my friend, and get some fresh boots on. We'll see who wins the battle out of pit road. Brandon Wallace stayed out. Jeremy Gardner's gone in. Scott Formosa, Andy Kurtz. So we'll see who out of this top three. And Craig, of course, as well, too.
Yeah, Brendan Wallace stayed out. 73, Jeremiah Holt. 76, Mark Hollifield. And Knights all stayed out.
Well, because some of those drivers like Brandon Wallace and Jeremy Holton and Mark Holyfield, they pitted. I got to keep using the word pits and not boxed. Back in, well, Brandon Wallace did it in lap 21. But Jemiah Holt, they did it in lap 11. Lap 11 too for Mark Holyfield, which means he might be a bit of a sitting target, isn't he, on a race restart with what we show the pit stop strategies, of course, but he's going to be like, what's he's done? 23 laps on those tires? And you know what it's like on a race restart, isn't it? When you've got pretty worn tires, you start to just feel like you're driving in the slow lane on a freeway.
Well, even with the 13, 14 laps that Wallace has on his tires now, everybody behind him's got brand new tires, and even that 13, 14 laps takes quite a bit of tread off those tires, and they probably will get ran over pretty quick.
We saw that on the Monday night series, didn't we? I think. Or
Yes.
Yeah, where we saw like driving. Unless it was also last night as well. I can't take so many series of broadcasts where drivers, they got those fresh boots on, and even I need like 10 lap fresh boots sometimes. Wow, I mean, they're just driving around the other drivers to make it look like your car's got 20, 30 extra horsepower. Or 100 extra horsepower, but that's not always the case sometimes. And you tend to know that you can go around the outside, can't you, a lot more. You have a lot more faith on the very outside of the track, up close to the fence. In fact, you can go on the inside open, you can go practically anywhere, can you? Got those fresh boots, knowing that your opponents that you're battling with can't really risk it too much.
Right. Yeah, it looks like Brandon Wallace took the waiver around there.
They're chatting in the chat too. We got drivers chatting in the chat. Jonathan Caulfield and Brandon Wallace. Mark Holyfield is in the lead. I thought Brandon Wallace was the one, but I guess once that's all been elected, decided Mark Holyfield. And Mark Holyfield, 11, his tyres, once again, that I've shown, done 24 laps on him. You can see the rest of the field behind him. 14, 13 laps done for Wallace and Knights, and then the rest of the field have fresh boots on. See if he can hold that lead.
Yeah, and they're coming out of turn 4, getting ready for the restart here.
Green.
And green flag gone. And Brandon Wallace got a big jump on everybody else there.
He wasn't even with him, was he?
Yep, see, now they're starting to stack up on each other. These guys with the new tires are running everybody over in the front there. We got Andy Kurtz. He jumped up there into second. Mike George in third. This is going to be exciting here in a minute. 74 almost lost it into the turn 2 there. Or turn 4, that was.
Yeah, Mark Holyfield was already down into down here currently at the moment in P7, and definitely struggling with those tires as we figured was going to be the situation. But you said they had started the show, I think, when you went down and had checked them. 4 sets of tires, was that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
4 sets. Oh, and here we go.
He's on his lid.
Another caution.
Now, I wonder if that's...
1, 2, 3 cars in that one.
I wonder if that's because the fence situation again, my friend. Or the 76 machine of Mark Holyfield. We know that his tires were a little bit more worn, but do you think that he's come up close to that fence? Let's have a look. Don't see any... Yeah, no, he's just lost it there, and... Oh!
Yep.
Nowhere else for the other drivers to go, unfortunately. Almost went on his lid. At that point, you kind of go, maybe you should have gone into pit road? I don't know. Easier said than done. I'm not the racing driver out there. You got alternative strategies sometimes. Can pay off.
I don't know. Get some new turns, new tires there, and get some better grip. Yep, and there goes the 00 into the pits. John Anthony.
Yep, going to make it stop. And Mark Holyfield, I would presume, should go. Brandon Wallace goes in. Now, that's a good idea for Brandon Wallace to take an opportunity for that, because remember, he also wasn't on the oldest tires, but he was on some old boots when the rest of the field around him had already made their pit stops. So, yeah, a good idea, because Brandon Wallace knows, hey, if we get another 10 10 laps or something like that under green, then he's going to be in that very, very situation that Mark Holyfield was before.
Right. Yeah, he's on, like I said, 13, 14 laps ago. So his tire shouldn't have been too bad. He jumped out to that huge lead, which kind of surprised me on those older tires.
So how's this panned out differently now? Because good on Mike George is up here. George Gill. Hugo Shasta out there. Like George Gill's up here. Jeremy Gardner's down back into P4 after leading during this race. Craig's now in there in P5. James Kaufman's up there in P6 there. And Adam Wilson, 10 positions gained as... 13 positions gained for that driver as well too. The number 1 driver. To get himself some good positions. And these drivers are all in that top 8 positions are all on the same tyre strategies now as well, too, as you can currently see. At the moment, they've only just got on a couple laps under the belt on those fresh boots that they put in. We assume they put fresh boots on. So, that's even Stevens for them. So that's good gains. Some of those drivers just avoiding some of those wrecks and things like that. Brandon Wallace says tyres were at 98. Now, is that 98% worn? That be correct there as a racing driver you are there, Steve?
Yeah, there'd be 2% worn, 2% less tire than he had on before. So,
all right, okay.
Yeah, he still had quite a bit of tread on that.
That's not bad then.
No, not for the
so
13,
why
14 laps that he ran
why would you
on.
box then, Brandon, if you have that much grip on your tires? I'm just curious. You had the racing lead. Why'd you give up the position then?
Well, he still got two more sets of tires that we came in this last time. So now he's probably down to 1 set, which could hurt him in the long run here. Everybody else has got 3 sets left, or 2 sets left, I'm sorry.
Quick ad and we'll be back in a second.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome back. Andy Kurtz with the lead currently at the moment. Thank you everybody for tuning in, of course. Thank you very much for supporting the Goat Locker Racing League and supporting the NASRA network, and of course presented by INvets. And also make sure you hit that like and subscribe button right there. Just press that one and get notifications when there's racing events, which is almost every day as it's about to go green flag racing again.
And Andy Chris jumps out to the big lead. And he's got George Joel, Mike George right behind him. And Mike George takes second. Got a battle for third, fourth, and fifth back there. Which is coming out pretty decent. We got, see the Craig Bottringer, James Kaufman, George Jewell, Scott Formosa all battling for that third, fourth, and fifth spot there.
Oh, big wreck at the back.
Oh, guys, a little door big.
That's Devin Smith, I think, might have been involved again. Who else was there? Brandon Wallace might have gone through there. Mark Holyfield. And Jake currently at the moment. Hasn't the best of... he started from the pit road and Jake hasn't just... I guess he's been good to avoid a lot of those incidents. Let's have a look what happened to Devin Smith.
I got down on the apron, got
Yeah.
loose, came back up, and that's when he tagged Jake Ellingson, and we went in the wall, and everybody else had to slow up and couldn't slow up in time.
No, those speeds, of course, with no green flag conditions. It's very unfortunate. As you said, it went loosey-goosey. And the inside apron, because, you know, once again, because of the different elevation, isn't it? It's like a groove, it's like a gutter. And so once one tire gets on a little bit and the other tire's off a little bit, it just completely unbalances the car, doesn't it? It just sends the car in all sorts of different pointing directions and places. And things like
that, and there's no grip down there on the apron.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, you definitely want to stay away from the apron.
Is the paint also slippery? Like it is in, you know, on certain racetracks and things like that around the world. You hit that paint. It's because the paint, you know, it's a you know, it's a paint on top of the actual surface, the bitumen of the racetrack. So it can be quite slippery, especially in the wet usually, but not wet racing. But it can be quite slippery. Or do they use a special
this
abrasive
paint
paint?
on these? Yeah, I think it's a special paint because I never heard them really complain about the paint causing wrecks. However, for example, the Chicago Street Course in the real NASCAR here a few weeks ago, they were complaining about that because it's more of like a vinyl type thing, I guess, because it lasts longer than regular paint, so it gets really slick, especially when it rains.
I know. I'm only asking this because I know that in the French track, in the Formula One French track, God, I should know it off the top of my head at the moment. Emily might know that. But rather than sand, you know, gravel tracks they have from runoff areas and things like that they usually have on sand or gravel runoff areas, the French track actually has painted strips. And it has a red, has a white, a blue, and a red. Obviously, the national colours too of France. But they're separated, so they've got your strips, and then there's a little bit of bitumen strips. Bitumen, you have to check it out if you see it. But each one of those paint, it's not a paint, it's an abrasive material that they use. A bit of I can't remember specifically, but each one. So the white one has a little bit of grip to it. The red one has a little bit more, and then the blue, and then the red has a lot. So it kind of can stop and slow down the cars a lot more, but it also provides stoppage and grippage. So that's something to look at. I'll have
that'd
to
be
think
interesting
about
to
the
have.
track.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if they can get NASCAR to do that, especially when they're down there on the apron and they're wrecking. And like I've said before on these road courses, these cars are heavy. They don't brake very well, so there's a lot of momentum going into these when they wreck.
How heavy are these beasts, my friend?
You know, I would have to look it up. I am not sure, honestly.
I presume you don't race these ARCA cars very often?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said I presume you don't race these ARCA cars very often yourself.
I have. I prefer the next gen and the Xfinity cars myself. But yeah, I have raced them.
There we have it, my friend. Green, green, green again, Barney. Hopefully we continue to get some more green flag race laps under Fs. Andy Kurtz, the moment leader, but Mike George and Jeremy Gardner. 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 Get it right.
Yeah, I just looked that up. These ARCA cars are 3,300 pounds, ton and a half.
$3,300, so that's 3 tons? No. What's a
ton and a half.
Ton and a half.
Yeah, 2,000 pounds.
I'm in the metric system, my friend. I do apologize. I don't know the pound system as well.
Right.
Right in the back. That's Brett. Ooh, that's Adam Wilson. I think that's Adam Wilson. I'm surprised at the moment we still have some cars that are still, they must be pretty strong as well too, because considering the amount of wrecks we've had, we still have a lot of drivers that because use their one fast repair, and there's still a lot of drivers out there on the grid. So what are they?
Yeah, they're pretty sturdy cars.
Fixing these cars up with, my friend. Oh, he's blinked. This is why I can't see here. Here he is. So it's some sort of little technical issue there, and it may have caught. I don't know if it would have caught the other drivers off. Certainly has caught the cameras off at the moment because we can't really see where he went at that point. That's the 41.
Yeah, it looks like Wilson was trying to. Looks like Wilson was trying to get up in that top lane, didn't realize the other car was there and got hooked.
I don't think the other car might have seen him as well too, because if they get that little blinking situation, it means they would have blinked in the eyes of those drivers as well, as we're going to see him heading pit road. And oh, Mark Hollifield, that's not the way you entered the pit road, my friend. That
came in a little too hot there.
Tricky. Why is this such a tricky pit lane entrance? Actually, I'm so surprised. A lot of people have been having some issues with this one.
Well, it's a smaller track, and when you're coming out of turn 3 and 4 to get into the pits, it's a pretty tight turn. And again, you get down to that apron slick, and some of these guys are coming in a little too fast, so they stomp on the brakes to slow down so they don't get penalized, and you end up spinning and going into that wall.
But even at the slow speeds under a caution?
Yeah, it can happen.
Oh, he's blinking as well too. Adam Wilson was blinking a little bit there. Well, hopefully it's not going to be a caution fest at the moment. We are slowly getting through it. We are over halfway. We've got 47 to go. I'm not quite sure how many actual green flag laps that we've currently had in this race, because we've 8 cautions now, which you can currently see in the graphics. We still have, it appears to be about 23 drivers in. Chance Taylor's in there. I think Dougie's retired from the session, pit road. Keith Hanley never started the race. And then we have a few of the drivers that are actually a lap down. Devin Smith, David, Calbert here, Matt Knights. I can't see Matt Knights on the track, actually. John, I think they've retired, actually. So that's what we currently have.
Sam Milliken's 24 laps down. Timothy Jones is 22 laps down. John Anthony 14. Matt Knights 7. David Calbert 2 laps down, and Devin Smith 1 lap down. He should get the lucky dog on the next caution.
No, and Matt, they're out. You can see currently at the moment, Matt Knights is out, Anthony's out. On the telemetry, Jones is out, Milligan's out. Single fire, I would agree with that one. But it seems a lot of the incidents have been self-incidents. That's the thing as well. So this hasn't been bad racing between drivers. It's not really door-banging racing, has it, my friend? Mr. Steve. It's really just been drivers losing it on mainly on their own, and of course it's wrecking a few other cars with that.
Yeah, I've only seen one instance of some door banging, and that was just before we saw that wreck. I think it was the 3rd and 4th place cars for side by side. They were door banging a little bit there. I think race control. Now, why race control would do a single file restart, I don't know, because they really haven't had any problems on the restarts. But usually when they go to single file, they're just trying to speed things up a little bit, get the guys so it's less likely that they'll crash. And we're waiting on Barney to throw the green flag here. Andy Kurtz in the lead, and Jeremy Gardner right behind him. And George Jewell and Craig Bonkranger for your top 5 there. And here we go.
Yeah, I'd also say sometimes we do it on road courses at other leagues that are broadcast all the time. They do no overtaking until lap 2 or something like that, depending on the road course. But literally no overtaking. So just to get a few laps under the belt, you could say no overtaking for 2 laps or something like that. So even if the car ahead of you is slower, and you can easily go on the inside apron and overtake them, you're not allowed to. You just have to sit behind there and just take that as it is until you get a couple laps under your belt, and then bingo, go for it. That's very possible. Of course, it's different in oval racing, my friend, because sorts of things can happen.
Yeah, and in NASCAR, they have to stay in their lane till they cross the finish line. After they cross the finish line, then they can pass whoever they want after that. And we got a battle here going on for 4th and 5th and 6th. That would be Bot Ranger, Jewel, and Formosa battling for those spots there.
Yeah, George Jules, of course, is on the inside apron there at the moment. 36 to 5 positions gained for George. Those will be happy at that. It's usually a disaster. Chat there is. Jake Ellen's going to make a pass there on Brandon Wallace up on the inside. So Jake's making a little bit of a surgence back through the field there after starting off the pit road and slowly but surely picking his way through here. Plenty of time to go, 42 laps. But of course, the more we get green flag racing, the better. Scott Famosha and George Jewell as well too having a nice little squabble. Good to see this racing eventually happening. And as I said, we have seen the race. It has been good racing between the drivers. It's the only incidents have generally been just drivers have just lost the car on their own, and it's just caused a bit of a wreck.
And that's usually because they get on the gas too soon and too hard when they're coming out of turn 4 and turn 2 there. Andy Kurtz has built up a pretty good lead here. He's about a half second in front of Jeremy Gardner.
That's why I want to see some of these
Things
battles.
seems to be they're calming down a little bit now, but then we got Jake Ellickson in the battle with Brendan Wallace for that 10th and 11th spot.
Oh, Jake just slides up the
Jake
inside
on the
there.
inside, he makes the pass.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, isn't it? His timing is bunch right too, but hey, it goes where it comes around. Brendan Wallace might want to take that one back. Certainly he's going to be up the tailpipe currently at the moment, Jake. As you can see, I'm not showing the front leaders too much at the moment because they have a bit of a gap between them. Maybe we get a little bit closer at this battle. See Mike George there and Craig. Oh, have we got lap traffic at the moment? We do have lap traffic, I believe.
And then we got a battle going on between Johnny Cofield and Jeremiah Holt for that 12th spot, right behind Wallace and Ellington.
Craig Bontrager is trying to put a little bit of pressure on Mike George that's currently here. And then Jeremy's putting pressure on our race leader. It wasn't a traffic, it was my mistake. It was just we're in the mix of the hornet's nest of his front end drivers. The business end of the shed. The sharp end of the tool shed.
Yeah, the last car in line is Mark Hollifield, and he's about the middle of the backstretch now. And those guys are just coming out of 4, the leaders.
I'm pretty sure the 76 car will get out of the way completely, as you mentioned. That's Mark Hollifield. Oh, Mark Hollifield is trying to keep on the lead lap with them because he currently is in the lead lap. He's the last one with lead lap. Everybody else behind him is not.
Jeremy Gardner's trying to take that lead away from Andy Kurtz there. He's getting on the inside. He just can't quite do it. Andy has got that coming off that turn faster than Jeremy's able to down there on the bottom. Got another battle for 3rd and 4th back there with Bot Ranger and Formosa.
Yeah, it's Craig here. No, it's Craig and Mike George. It's Mike George up there. It's also got Scott from
Oh, yeah, you're right.
30 seconds to change down the right. So it's scared. Billy, it's a 3-way fight currently for P3.
Jeremy Gardner is currently about 2/10 behind Andy Kurtz. So he's still, I think he's just going to bide his time, be patient, wait for Andy to make a mistake.
This is where you can utilize it, isn't it? At the moment, this 76 car up the road there that they're about to lap. Which is, yeah, his Holifield's completely gone under the grass. This is I want nothing to do with any of that that's going on. A good sportsmanship. Doesn't have to, because he was on the lead lap.
Yeah, he didn't have to. I don't know if he's still on the track or not. I don't see him stopped. Looks like he's had himself towed to the pits. Something going on with his car, apparently.
Oh, did he? Oh, yes. Yeah, I think you might be correct. No, he's still on the track, my friend. He went on the inside apron just to get completely out of the driver's way.
Ah, okay.
You see the
yep,
76 on the track map.
out.
He just let everybody through. He's let the whole field through because they've lapped him now. I just said, like as I said,
Right.
I don't think he wanted to get in anybody's spoil anybody's party at this point, being that far at the back of the field.
And in the meantime, Jeremy has taken the lead. He's got a 1-second lead on Andy Kurtz. Mike George and Craig Bottringer and Formosa are still battling for that third, fourth, and fifth spot there.
Yeah, I think something's happened to Andy. Let's have a look at the replay. Yep, there's Andy.
Oh, you got
24.
loose.
Yep, correct on that one. And then he's come back in. Oh, very lucky. Almost tagged Jeremy. But more so now, he's got a big pressure, isn't he, from these gaggle of cars behind him there. Mike George, Craig, Scott Formosa.
And all three of them are battling for that third place there. George and Bot Ranger almost doing some door banging there, trying to get past him.
Don't get Jacob excited about the door banging. Jacob, because tomorrow night, door banging. Good racing, I can tell you that. But keep it up, gentlemen. I want to see some more of this good green flag racing, because these laps are going to click over pretty quickly. You know, we've got 28 remaining for no stage breaks, so just go, go, go.
Looks like they might even go 3 wide here.
It's possible with the confidence, because they're floating with that fence a lot more now that they've got temperature in the tires, isn't it? Now they float with the fence, they're knowing that they can trust a little bit more. These tires aren't that old.
Yep. When you've got the grip and you go into that high line there, you have a tendency to come off the turn 2 and turn 4 a lot quicker. You got more acceleration than if you're coming off the bottom. And now we got the battle between George and Formosa for 4th and 5th. Mike George is starting to pull away. Excuse me. Bot Ranger is starting to pull ahead and getting away from them.
Yeah, Bot Ranger is doing a very good job. He's loving this little battle. That's the 29 up against the fence. That's Mike George. That will scrub a little bit of speed, but he can tuck in behind Scott Formosa and try to get the job done. Meanwhile, Travis Bieber in the background is starting to hunt in them, because he's loving that fight. So was Craig liking that fight. And Jeremy, with that solid lead after Andy Kurtz made that little bit of a mistake, Andy's got to get his head down, really tuck it into the gear and get the job done, and try to slice anything he possibly can from Jeremy. But Jeremy's just one of those smooth operator drivers that doesn't make too many mistakes. And once he's up on that lead, it's going to be very, very hard to catch. 23 to go, anything can happen. How good is he on his tyres as well, too, Zakizna? Can Andy perhaps save those tyres a little bit there and maybe have a few laps advantage towards the end? That'll be the question. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, of course.
And all of a sudden, Travis Bieber's in the battle there in 114 for that 4th spot. Came out of nowhere. We haven't seen him all night.
Hey, Jake as well, too, and James Kaufman. They're not too far down the road from him, this battle. And there we go. We have a caution.
Oh, and the caution out.
Who was it? Dougie's back out after these repairs. Bontrager. There it is in the chat. Thank you very much, Aaron. Bontrager, my friend. That's how we need to be pronouncing his name. As spelt. Now, I don't see what's called a caution, if anybody is aware of it, but I can't see anything particularly for race control.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either.
It says Dougie entered the pit lane. Oh, Dougie, this might have caused a caution here. I think it was. I didn't realize Dougie was actually back out racing. That's what's caused it. So Dougie's just had a little bit of a spin once he's come back out on track, which means everybody's going to go on pit road.
That right there is what caused the caution to come out, because he did a U-turn and went the wrong direction on pit road. That'll throw the caution every time.
Ah. Dougie's allowed to get away with it for that. He should have got away with it, but it's an iRacing race control message anyway. Let's have a look for the pit lane battle. Pit lane, not rain. Hopefully it's not raining in the pit road.
And he may get a black flag out of that too for going the wrong direction. possible. Oh, wow. Andy flew. I'm wondering if he's going to get caught for speeding, the way he flew out of that pit. Or at least that's what appeared to happen. He came out quite a bit faster than everybody else was. Yeah, we're on our 9th caution. Go back to green here. We still got Andy Kurtz in the lead, followed by Jeremy Gardner, Scott Formosa, Travis Bieber, and Mike George. Jake Ellickson right behind him.
And down the backstretch with the pace lights on, we'll go to our commercial sponsors, of course, and be back for more action. Hopefully, the last 19 laps to go in the race here for the Goat Locker ARCA Series, presented by INvets.
And welcome back to Rockingham. We're going to have about 17 to go. They're coming out of the middle of turn 3 and 4. Looks like they're going to go one more lap around. And we'll see if they start out single file again or if they'll go back to double file and restart here.
Well, there is no race control. I was speaking to Patrick about this earlier, so it'll be decided by, I presume, some of the drivers. They are in the chats, of course. We got the Bandits Motorsports there and Veterans for Life Foundation drivers as well too. One of our sponsors, of course. So, how are the drivers? They do chat, obviously, in the simulation, right? I mean, you get your chat in the simulation. Again, I'm not a driver, so I don't really. I just heard drivers chat in the simulation. They might communicate to each other and go, "Okay, let's." I don't know how it all pans out with that one, my friend, but.
Yeah, with one to go here, they are going to start with a double file restart. Yeah, the drivers can talk to each other, but they usually don't do it unless they're on a caution flag or in a end of a stage. While they're racing, they tend to be quiet.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like under the caution, like before, not during the race.
And even then, some leagues are very strict about talking at all. Even under caution.
Oh, really?
Here they come out of turn 4. Pace car is off. Waiting for Barney to throw the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go.
Jeremy.
Andy Kurtz jumps out to the lead, but Jeremy Gardner in second. Formosa third.
Yeah, you're right, my friend. The Andy Kurtz and Jeremy Gardner show again. Oh, Jeremy into the fence.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Now, he's managed to save it, but it'll scrub a little bit of time there. Scott Formosa should be able to pounce on this one immediately. Scott Formosa's trying his absolute best to pounce on it, but he's made a mistake himself.
He got loose coming out of the turn there. Jeremy Gardner, look, he's getting ready to battle Andy Kurtz for the lead again.
Caulfield, hold it.
Saved it.
Good save, yeah. Uh-oh, but that's bounced up. That's caused a few of the other drivers to probably go a little bit flirtation fence up there as well. So they're starting to get spicy dicey, my friend, because you've got 14 to go now. As soon as you get that to that 10 laps remainder in the race, that's when it's all elbows out at that point, isn't it?
And coming out of the apron like that, he'll get near full in the Discord channel after the race. Drivers do not like when you come out of off the apron like that.
But thankfully,
I saw that.
touch wood, Adam Wilson's gone off the track somewhere as well. Hopefully that doesn't cause a caution. It's indicating to me that it's a crash, and it has actually. It is, unfortunately. Adam Wilson's down all the way down here. I don't even think it's even involved with anybody else. Unfortunately, it just triggers an iRacing incident. And let's have a look what it did. It's got to be losing the rear end here, right? You can already see it going around.
Yeah, he got loose.
Yeah, it
Got on the gas a little too soon.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about iRacing. To caution sometimes. Well, it's it's automatic. It's AI really at that point, but it just determines certain characteristics and says, "Oh, that's a caution," even though he had no whatsoever problems with that causing any incidents of other cars.
Here's an interesting fact. I read an article here not long ago. We do have a lot of the real world NASCAR drivers race. Dale Jr. Is one of them. And they actually say iRacing is harder than the real car because you can't feel the movement of the car in iRacing.
Well,
You remember,
you
if you remember during the during COVID, they ran some races in iRacing for entertainment purposes for people on NBC. I think it was that did that.
Yeah, they've done it all over with all the Formula One and all. They did it as well too, as you know. They wanted to get racing, so they did virtual world. But there are, top-notch racing sims. Of course, next level racing is one of the sponsors as well. They've got some top-notch racing sims. They have movement. So you've got racing rigs that'll move. I believe all that telemetry information can come through into your racing rig and move your rig around. I'm sure those top-notch drivers, as you said, professional drivers, would have some of that. Some of them like it, some of them don't, I presume. I think Max Verstappen, who, Formula One, three-time Formula One world champion at the moment, he jumps straight out of a race car sometimes and straight into his racing rig to do iRacing events. And that's not Formula One cars. That's like, GT3s and supercars and like LMP2s and cars like that. But his rig is an emotion rig. He's a stationary rig. So perhaps the emotion rigs aren't up to the challenge yet, like those proper, the proper simulation ones that you go to for companies like Mercedes and Ferrari and all that sort of stuff, and have those multi-million-dollar simulators. And they do move those motion simulators. But then again, a few $1 million, something like that, you're not going to have in your home.
For the general hobbyist, they run about 50,000 or more, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
you can buy almost a brand new car for that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. But you're talking about professional race drivers. I mean, they've got the coin to have that.
Yeah, but a lot of them do it all the time, though. Dale Jr. is on a lot. Tony Stewart does a lot of the wing sprint cars, dirt track. I think they're the two most active drivers in the professionals that are in the race besides Matt Verstappen.
Yeah. Max, get a life, my friend. Be like, did you have a girlfriend? I mean, when do you spend time with her? I mean, you jump on out of a bloody a Formula One race car after, a whole weekend of Formula One racing. And then, remember too, for, big celebrities of racing drivers, you don't just they got to turn up on Wednesday and they go to all these press days and all that sort of stuff. And they said all the way up to your whole weekend, and Sundays it's over. And this guy just gets back in a racing rig, Sunday night or whatever on Mondays and stuff. And it's you only got a couple of days off until you got your next, press days and everything like that. So it's man, when do you have time for you? I don't even have a girlfriend. I'm not going to spend any time with her. Probably just for show. But what's not for show is hopefully 9 laps to go.
Yeah, this will be this is what I like to call the tense moment here. You got the 9 to go. Everybody's going to be up in that wheel, battling for first. And they're coming out of turn 4 now. Pace car is off. And waiting on Barney to throw that green flag. And we're off. Andy Kurtz jumps out to a big lead again with Jeremy Gardner right behind him. In third and fourth, we have Scott Formosa and Travis Bieber fighting. There, somebody went down on the apron.
Jake's got on the apron. Yep, you're right. Comes back up. And he's got to maintain this lead, which he got a good launch. He needs that good launch because 8 to go. He go pretty quickly on the short track here. Scott Formosa's going to keep him in check at the moment. And then Travis Bieber. Biggest gainer there. 114 machine, 7 positions gained, but Andy's still holding on tight there. 7 to go, soon to be 6 to go, my friend, in the dying stages of our ARCA series.
And Jeremy's now starting to put some pressure on Andy. We saw that coming out of turn 2 there, along with Scott Formosa right behind him. Jeremy's on the inside of Andy. Can he do it? Can he get ahead of him?
And
no.
Adam Wilson's had a bit of a crash, but hopefully not caused the caution. So we should be green to go at the moment. And Jeremy's going to put big pressure on the moment. He will have to put huge pressure on. Let's go on board right now, Scott Formosa, and have a look from his perspective. And you can see the bumps, you can see the slides. And, oh, there is a little wiggle, isn't it, from Andy? That's cost him big time.
That's the second one now. He wiggled out of that last turn and also got a little loose there.
Oh, he's at the fence.
Oh, now he hit the wall. And
he's in trouble.
Now Scott Formosa's gone into second place. Jeremy Gardner's still holding on to the lead. And then we got Bieber and
yeah, go ahead.
We got Bieber and Kurtz now fighting for that third and fourth spot.
Andy has to hold on the best time he can right now to say about P4, P5 at best. And this is just probably put a little bit more smile on Jeremy's face there at the moment. Or probably not. Jeremy's like, I would like to take the battle all the way to the checkered flag. But Scott Formosa now is the only one that can catch and to try to pass Jeremy. One thing to catch, another thing to overtake with 4 laps to go, soon to be 3. He's got to give it absolutely everything. And Jeremy's a cool, calm, smooth operator to be able to hold on tight on that one. Free to go.
I think the big battle now is the third, fourth, and fifth spot of Bieber, Kurtz, and George. They seem to be fighting pretty good back there. Oh, and Kurtz went back up to the wall again.
Kent's got damage for sure. I mean, he keeps smacking into that fence. I think Jeremy Gardner's got this one in the bag as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. No lap traffic to worry about up the road there. But of course, as you said, that big battle. Andy Kurtz, Mike George, Brandon Wallace. Then you got the second behind George Jewell and P7 down there. He's got big Gaga cars behind him. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one as well too, because they're everywhere back there. Look, but. More so, Andy Kurtz just has to hold on. He's got a wounded car right now. It's definitely wounded. And as I said, at best, he's got to try to hold on to that P4 position. Last lap, Jeremy in the lead.
He's jumped out to almost a 4/10 lead over Formosa at the moment. They still got that battle of third, fourth, fifth, and sixth back there. And we're coming out of, was that 4 or was that 2?
That's it. Check your flag.
Oh, here we go.
Jeremy gets
and here it comes. Jeremy Gardner with the win, followed by Formosa, Bieber, Kurtz, George, Wallace. Those are your top 6.
So Kurtz did hold on with that damage there. Mike George, good job there. Started P5, finished to P5. Brandon Wallace managed to fight his way back up then at P6 at the moment. Just got George Jewell there in P7. Good job there for George Jewell. James Kaufman, a fantastic job as well too for P8. P9, Jeremiah Holt, 14 positions gained, biggest gainer of this evening here. And then Chance Taylor will wrap out our top 10. But Jeremy, of course, will be burning his car all the way across the line. That's another race win for Jeremy. And, well, he had to fight for that one too, didn't he? Because towards the end, Andy Kurtz was going to try to take it away from him. But Jeremy Gardner said, not on my watch, my friend. Not on my watch. Results.
Yeah, Kurtz lost the race himself because those mistakes. He had like 2 or 3 mistakes there, and everybody just passed him, those top 3 cars. All right, here's your unofficial race results. Jeremy Gardner in first, Scott Formosa, Bieber, Kurtz, George in your top 5. Then you have Brandon Wallace, George Jewell, James Kaufman, Jeremiah Holt, and Chance Taylor for your top 10.
You can go through if you like, my friend.
All right.
Welcoming you to the
in 11th. In 11th, we have Rigger. And then Alan Marshall, David Calvert, Johnny Colefield, and Mark Hollifield. That's your 11th through 15th. 16th, Devin Smith. 17th, Russell Rafferty. 18th, Adam Wilson.
Yep, we do have a few more. Let me just show that real quick there. It's Bot Traeger as well, too, as they keep reminding us in the chat there. We'll get that one correctly. Jake, 7 laps down there. I'm not quite sure. Just one of those races that Jake didn't have there. Dougie came back out after some long repairs there. Should finish and then the rest of the DNFs, Matt Knights, John, Anthony, Timothy Jones, and Sam Milligan retired early, and he start the race. Short commercial break, of course. A couple of commercials. We'll be back for the driver interviews. Please don't go anywhere.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Hey, Travis, you just seem to come out of nowhere tonight. How's that car doing?
Yeah, caught a couple lucky breaks. I ended up spinning down into the pits early on in the race, got a lucky dog, came back up through, and kind of was just on that long run, kind of got to the top of the track and was just kind of working the top all the way around. So, it was a good night. Good finish here in third. Based on, I was 22nd or 23rd at one point. So.
That's like I was telling everybody that, I think you were up in about 5th place, 4th place at the time. And I'm like, who's this? We haven't seen him all night. It's Bieber in the 114. So yeah, you had a pretty good race then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I think I was making good time in the long run. I couldn't figure out the short run, so that little short run there at the end, if Andy wouldn't have gotten the wall, I was definitely going to finish 4th there. I think where I was 4th or 5th. I know Mike was right there too. So, I didn't have the short run speed, but definitely had it for the long run. So wish we would have got a few more green laps at the start, but that's racing, and it's part of it.
8 positions gained there, as you can see the 2 count on the side of your car as well too, for the Car Essentials. 8 positions gained. Yeah, Andy had a little bit of a floating moment with the fence there, and I think he got done some damage or something like that once he was challenging Jeremy for the race lead. And of course, you were just in it, my friend, weren't you? Like, at this point, you were just in that P3, just hold off the rest of the field behind you, which you did quite well there, and picked up some Kellogg's essential points in the series at least.
That's right. So yeah, right place, right time, gained a spot there, and found myself up here with you guys. So all good.
Before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to thank?
Yeah, I'll thank, I want to thank everybody from Goat Locker for putting on the show tonight. Thank you guys for the the awesome broadcast you guys do every week. I know Goat Locker has a long list of sponsors here. You know, Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, the Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, and Big Fish Barbecue. You know, without all these awesome sponsors, the league wouldn't be here to race. So, you know, I appreciate every single one of them.
All right. Well, thank you, Travis, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, Travis, you can stay around here or you move yourself away at the moment. I'm going to pull. Who would you like to pull in second place there, Scotty Formosa, or up to you, Steve, or like Jeremy? Oh, we've got him in anyway.
Hey, Scott,
We'll bring you
Steve
both in,
here.
but anyway, go ahead.
Hey,
Scott.
Hey, you had a pretty good race tonight. Up in the top 5, it seemed like the whole race. How did that car feel tonight?
felt good. Felt really good. I felt like, that's about what I was. Second, third place car tonight. I don't think I had nothing for Jeremy. I got caught speeding on pit road on one of those stops and went to the rear, but just drove back through there and had a decent run. I enjoyed this track. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's some pretty good heated battles between the third, fourth, and fifth place cars tonight. It seemed like you guys had been fighting all night.
Yeah. You just got to the bottom seemed like it worked better for me. And I think the 24 was running up high and it would work good for him for a while. But I think right there toward the end, it burned his stuff up. And Jeremy's usually on the bottom everywhere we go. And he knows how to take care of those tires and he's a tough guy to beat.
He certainly is. I think if you would have had a few more laps up your sleeve here, after that battle, of course, with Andy, then with Jeremy, it's a hard target. We'll speak to Jeremy obviously in a second. He's listening to the conversation as well too, so bring him in. But Scott, yeah, you were still. I mean, you started in P2, you finished in P2. How confident do you feel going into the rest of the season? And of course, that we have as well too, because next up, my friend, is Pocono.
Yeah, now that is one of my favorite tracks. I love Pocono. I do like that racetrack. I'm just sitting there trying to learn to get as quick as what Jeremy's running. Just staying after it each week, just trying to get a little bit better. And I feel like I'm gaining on it, but I got a little ways to go. But I'll just keep plugging around at it.
Hey, Scott, is there anybody you would like to thank for your race tonight?
Oh, of course, we got to thank all our sponsors over here at Goat Locker. We got to thank Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life, Alexander PCs, Right Now Roofing, Sim Motion, Big Fish Barbecue, iRacing. You guys for doing what y'all do, and my team, Alan Marshall, heads up the Speed Kings team. I want to thank him. He usually paints up all my cars, and that's about it, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes. All right. Thank you for your time, and we will see you at Pocono next week. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
That's Scott Formosa that finished in the P2 position, starting in P2. And just couldn't quite get that P1, but we get the man that got that P1 position and has done it before. That is here. And Jeremy, you have a copy. And by the way, too, my friend, you got the Big Fish Barbecue Pole Award as well, too. So make sure you get some Big Fish Barbecue next time you're hungry. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hello.
Yep. You have a copy there, Jeremy? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jeremy, you and Andy had the dominant cars tonight. How was that battle with Andy there?
It was fun. He kept running the high line, midline. I kept waiting. I eventually knew that he was going to possibly eat his tires up, make a mistake. I tried to hold the bottom line all night because bottom line everywhere. I mean, you're going to save your tires as best you can. Just tried to stay with him all night. It was definitely fun. He scared me there with about 20 to 30 to go, and he almost spun off of 4. So that was a blast, man. Those last 10 laps, I wasn't going to make it easy for him. I was going to put the pressure on him for sure.
Yeah, we noticed even last few laps there, he got loose coming out of 2 and 4 at one point. Tagged the wall once, and that's what made him fall back and for you to take the lead.
Yeah, Rockingham is one of those tracks, man. You got to be patient at it. It's on exit, or mid corner really. It's really bumpy. You start to gas up really soon. You slide the rear out. I about made that mistake coming out of 4 a couple times, just trying to keep up with him. But it's this track definitely requires a lot of consistency and patience, and being good on your tires.
So, what are your thoughts going into Pocono next week? How do you think that's going to go, and how are you going to prepare for it without giving away your secrets, of course?
Oh, I'm excited for it. Pocono is definitely one of my best tracks, whether it's the next gens, Truck Series, ARCA, you name it. Pocono is definitely one of my favorite tracks. Another track that requires a ton of patience.
You got anything, Dean?
I no, that's perfectly. How many is this race wins for you this season, too? By the way, there, Jeremy.
It's my third one in ARCA. I've had 3 in the trucks.
3 in the trucks and 3 in the ARCA then, with a few more races to go. So get a couple more up your belt. There you go. Thank you. And of course, and your 42 machine, or your sponsors you'd like to thank. I know you've got a few to keep you up all night.
Yeah, of course, all the sponsors, but always first and foremost, Jamie and Pat for putting on a great league. Jake for holding down the ARCA league. He does a great job making sure everything's organized every week. Lincoln Tech, INvets, Relevant Sound, Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans for Life Foundations, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, Big Fish Barbecue, Premier Racing Setups. They put out the best setups on the server every single week. Check them out. And of course, y'all guys for doing what y'all do every week. Y'all put on a hell of a broadcast. We appreciate y'all.
Ask one more question that I think if you're going to use the Ask Jarvis this. Do you race in shoes, socks, or barefoot?
Barefoot.
There you go.
Always.
It's interesting because we could have been able to ask all those drivers these questions as well too. Well, Scott Formosa's still here. If you can hear us, Scott, I'm going to ask you that question. So shoes, socks, or barefoot? So,
Socks.
Socks. You're a
Gotta
socks.
have socks.
All right, there you go. It's curious what people have, what they like to race in. Obviously, it depends if it's hot, cold, and all that sort of jazz as well. Steve, well, that's one for
And
you
I'm the
too.
same
Real
way.
quick.
I was just going to say I race in socks also. Can't feel the pedals very well with shoes on.
Yeah, I gotta race barefoot, man. I gotta feel the feedback from my pedals so I can feel my tires and everything. Some people race in actual racing shoes. I couldn't do it.
You get feedback in your pedals?
Yeah, they vibrate whenever I'm pushing too hard.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that exists. Wow, see, I'm completely out of the racing sim series. That's pretty impressive. All right, excellent. Thank you, gentlemen, and of course, as we'd mentioned as well too. There, Mr. Steve, we're off to the final couple of races of the summer series, and that's Pocono and Phoenix. Well, Jeremy and Scott, real quick there. Out of those 2 tracks, which is your pick? What are you guys going to win it? Who's going to win? Who's going to win Pocono? Who's going to win Phoenix? We're going to win them both.
I've got a better feeling at Pocono. Phoenix definitely requires a lot of consistency. I lack in that department sometimes, so I'm gonna say Pocono.
Yeah, Pocono for me. I will struggle at Phoenix. I just cannot figure that place out, but I do know how to get around Pocono.
All right, there we have it. So take your bets out there early, of course. Only just verbal bets. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yes, final words there, Steve.
Great race tonight. Had a lot of cautions. I don't know why the ARCA summer series you guys have brings out a lot of cautions for some reason. I know there's a lot of new drivers, but it was a great race overall. Those top 5 cars just fought all night long. Between first and second was a good fight, and third, fourth, and fifth between Bieber, Kurtz, George, and everybody involved in those. They kept it clean, but yet they fought all night long. It was a great race.
So thank you everybody, of course, for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow night, because we have the truck series here, but the Goat Locker Summit Racing Series. And we'll try to get that one, as Jeremy going to do burnouts again to celebrate his third victory as well too in this. And thanks to all the sponsors. Thank you to everybody, of course, in the chat, all the family members and friends and cats and dogs and everybody else that comes in to support their racing drivers. We do much appreciate it. Even now we have a bit of a caution. Not a caution fest, 10 cautions, but exactly what Steve mentioned. Majority of those cautions were just single driver incidents. The tires, the drivers got a little bit too close to the fence, getting sucked into the fence there. They're just making little mistakes on their own. Not wreck fests of drivers coming into and clashing into each other or door banging each other, which you know, then that's something, then there'll be a lot of beef after that. A lot of drivers will just be upset that they've just made little mistakes themselves, but you got to be in it to win it. That'll be it from us. Final words there, Steve?
Well, we'll see everybody at Pocono next week. Looking forward to it. The drivers are looking forward to it, and we'll have a lot of fun.